the construction industry has one of the highest rate of stress and suicide rates. What changes do you think needs to happen nationwide to help that situation?
This is a big topic, and it's something that when I really got a grasp of, I couldn't just let it sit by the wayside. So I incorporate that in the way that I coach. But I've also done something about it from my point of view as well. Because when you look at the stats, two tradespeople die by suicide every day on average. They're the highest sector in the UK to suffer with mental health problems as well. And when we look at the underlying reasons as to why is that, studies that have been done through people like Mates in Mind, Ironmongery Direct and Mind as well, those charities, the results that come back off the back of it are a lot of it is to do with their business, or a lot of it is to do with their working life. So if we can sort out the business side of things, then it shouldn't bleed into their personal life, which shouldn't then bleed into mental health issues. So for me, it looked like a no-brainer, but particularly with the micro SMEs, it's different for people that are on site because it's a slightly different dynamic with that. But if we can stop the business problems from forming in the first place, or at least alleviating them with things like coaching, then they won't have so much of those personal problems that then kind of factor in elsewhere, because the business problems don't stop in the business. You bring them home with you, and everyone then pays the price of that. I also started a luncheon which started in June this year, so June 2025, and the reason behind that was that I could see people doing lots of different initiatives, but I didn't see enough collaboration. So I thought, if I can get some change makers together in the industry, so across the mental health sector, construction executives and people who are just trying to do their bit in the industry, if we get together, we're having conversations about taking action and collaborating, then what that's going to do is increase the impact of who we are and the results that we're actually getting. So we had our second one in October, so that was a few weeks ago now, and those are run quarterly, and I invite people who are doing things in the region and in the sector to come together and collaborate so that we can make, those projects bigger. And the collaborations that have already started, they started doing, some really good work together. I'm getting involved in one now that will kick off probably next year. And if we're all doing our bit to make that happen, it should alleviate some of those problems. But I think we're talking about a wider issue as well. Construction seems to have more of it, I think primarily because it's a male-dominated industry. And when we look at the stats across the board in the UK, men are most likely to die by suicide. So I think that's the starting point, and we have to look at that as a wider issue, as well as the fact that it's happening more in construction. But I think one of the things as well is more women being in the sector as well helps to level that out a little bit. Sometimes it can be driven on a lot of ego. As women, we come in with a slightly different energy to taper that off. What I found with clients and even people that I've done free consultations with is that once they find a safe space, a non-judgmental space as well, what they'll actually do is they'll open up, and a lot of those problems are alleviated just by them talking and them releasing and not being judged for it. So because I'm not their wife, I'm not their partner, I'm their coach, it's a professional relationship that we have. They know when they come and talk to me, it's coming from a space of, okay, you can release what it is that's going on. Now we can look at how do we put that together without any judgment off the back of it. And if there are more of those non-judgmental spaces, I think they would have more room to grow.